All right, you're listening Table 12 podcast. Danny Barr, Paul Marino, Rob Klein in the other room. Gentlemen.
How's it going, fellas?
Good afternoon.
How's everybody on this St. Pat's week?
All greened up.
One at a time.
All greened up.
Just respond one at a time, please.
Greened up.
Yeah, we don't want to overwhelm you, Dan.
I got my traditional green shirt and hat ready to go tomorrow.
Shocking. Saturday night, stopped down at the cottage. It's a little busy, not packed like it used to be. And who's sitting at table 12? Paul Marino.
Yeah.
Paul Marino, who doesn't come out with crowds.
Can I tell a funny story about that?
No, we don't have time for that.
I saw the parking lot how busy it was. My daughter was working, so I figured I'd stop. I always try to stop and say hello to her.
Shout out to Donna.
Yep.
Or Donner, depending on
Donner
what county you're from.
And so I parked the car or the truck, and I go in. I said, Jesus, I could hear the noise, and I opened up the door, and I says, I'm not going in there. And I started walking back to my truck, and Bob Russell comes out. Shout out to Bob. He listens to the show.
Bob, yep.
And he comes out and he grabs me, and he goes, what are you doing?
Full Irish paint face regalia.
Yeah.
He's a
Where
legend.
you going? So I thought I was going to get, he goes, where you going? Come on back in. It's not that bad in here. I says, well, seems very busy. It's really getting, I don't like to get, I get that closed in feeling, So he got me to go back in. So I said hello to everybody. Then when I had myself a beer, and then I was in my spot. I was good. But then Danny Barr walks in with his lovely wife, Janet, and had a nice conversation. Dan?
Yeah.
We had a good time. I guess Rob's going to say, how come nobody invited me? I don't know if he's going to say that.
No, I was actually just waiting for the funny part,
The funny part was I was almost in my truck again, and Bob Russell came out of the door that nobody uses.
Listen, it's understandable that on Saturday night of St. Patrick's Week, why would you expect the cottage to be busy? I understand. Why would you expect there to be a crowd?
Well, because I thought St. Patty's Day was Tuesday.
I think this is more like the Bob Hope, Johnny Carson thing where, I'd love to stay, but I got to go. Because when I walked in, you said, well, I'm only staying for a half an hour. And then I went out in the back dining room, had dinner, came back down. Not only were you still there, you were getting another beer.
Yes. Yeah. Well, my time is always off. Eastern Standard.
Half hour,
Pacific
2
time,
hours. It could be anything.
It could be any time.
Right. And, it's, as long as it's within a 3-hour window, I guess it's all right. But good crowd. Good to see.
Nice.
Good to see the folks at table 12 and good to see the wonderful staff at the Irish Cottage.
Yeah, they had a nice group of bartenders working.
They're the best.
They're phenomenal.
They're the best. Yep. They, hung out a little bit, chatted around.
I thought maybe you just had a short dinner. I didn't realize you weren't gone long for dinner. I figured it was about a half an hour.
Yeah, we don't do 7 courses,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you you're saying that I was still there, but you had a quick dinner. It wasn't like you were, you weren't back there for
up
3
there
hours.
45 minutes.
No.
I
was probably on my way out when you came.
No, you weren't.
No?
You were just ordered another beer. And
So, I had 2. First and last. That's it.
That's it. Nothing in between.
What about Rob? What's he up to?
Rob's up
I didn't
to
see him at
nothing.
all.
I don't know. I went to the lake this weekend.
Oh, there you go. That's why he wasn't around. He went to the lake.
Yep. Didn't go in on Friday.
Did you go swimming at all or no?
I think it's a little cold, Paul.
Oh, that's right. It's up there, the North Country.
Yeah, the lake's still frozen.
Okay. But it was kind of warm down. Well, it was kind of cold Saturday, right, Dan?
They, yeah, sure. I'll go with that. They did a polar plunge, Rob. I think, where was it? Lake Mohawk?
Oh, did they?
They had to cut the ice for the people that, if you have to cut ice to go swimming, I'm not in it.
No.
I'm not doing it.
No.
I've never done one. Have no plans to do one.
I'm a chunky little Irish guy. The last thing I need is shrinkage.
But you don't want to have to cut ice for fishing either.
I used to do that.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I used to love to ice fish.
The next time I go fishing will be the first time I go fishing.
Oh, I used to fish a lot.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I was from the city. I didn't have many fish down there.
Well, they do. They're just in the Hudson. But I mean, we used to stand out there fishing, and our beer would freeze in our hands, and then you have a slushy.
In this area?
Massachusetts.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lived up there.
Before you came here? No, after you left here.
Right. I grew up here.
And then you left?
And then I got transferred with my job up to Western Mass. Lived up there for 3 years. And then came back.
Oh.
Now the recession hit. And
so how come you're not a fence cutter if you move back down?
Because
it don't count.
I grew up here.
But you moved out and then you came back.
I did. That doesn't make me. I didn't have to. I had a key to the gate. I didn't have to cut a fence.
Gotcha. Rob, are you a fence cutter? Daniel explain what it is.
What's a fence cutter?
He's local.
Daniel explain it to you.
Okay, explain it to me.
So a fence cutter is when someone from down below, and if you don't know what down below means, you're a fence cutter, moves up here, and then gets involved, starts running for office, thinking us local hicks don't know how the hell to run a town. And we need help from Bergen County
or Hudson County,
gotcha,
or both.
But no, Rob's homegrown.
Is
went to High Point.
Yep.
I don't want to talk out of school here, Rob.
No, you're not. That's where I went.
Well, Danny thought that's what Danny used to label me when I was at Memorial Day and he seen me standing out there. He labeled me.
Actually, the label was effing fence cutter. But, I mean, come on. Memorial Day in front of the Borough Hall and you're the only one in a suit.
I always wore a suit. You know that.
Golf shirt and khakis is perfectly acceptable on a Memorial Day.
Where
event.
I come from, you wear a suit. And you don't wear shorts.
Exactly. There you go. You just proved my point.
Okay.
Us hicks, we don't know how to dress for a fancy event. Thank God.
You just got to learn how to cipher.
Thank God. Yeah. Thank God you came up here to teach us how to be right.
Oh boy.
But it's you did a great job though.
I tell you what though, I want to break this. This is breaking news. I tried the new big arch at McDonald's. It's been advertised. It started March 13th or whatever, give or take a few days. It's pretty good.
I don't know what it is.
It's like a Big Mac, only it doesn't have the middle bread in it, and it's 2 hamburgers, and it's got all different special sauces on. I gave it a try. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty good. So I just wanted to get that out there for you because you say I never do anything all week. I don't do anything productive. I got myself a hamburger.
Was Paula with you?
Yeah, but
took her out for a nice meal, did you?
Well, after ShopRite, I took her. I went through the drive-thru.
She deserves something special.
Well, I took her to Milano's last night.
So you threw a burger down her throat?
But I took her to Milano's last night. She ordered half a lamb, for Christ's sake. It came out like a plate. I said, "Did you order the whole lamb? They call it a shank of lamb,
or a lamb shank."
The thing was like huge, big. So
you get a couple of
so
meals.
So last night, she don't cook tonight. I got some raviolis left over, but so today I said after ShopRite, I said, "You want to, get a ham?" She wanted a hamburger next door, so I went to McDonald's and I said, "Let me try that new big arch thing."
Special.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you.
Did I get a review here? Hopefully McDonald's will start sponsoring the show. Maybe if I give it a good clean review on the sandwich, right?
I don't eat hamburgers.
Well, I'm just saying. No, it's just rhetorical. If they, who knows? Maybe somebody that works in McDonald's in Spain will hear this, and maybe we'll get some kind of a boost.
There you go.
And that's the extent of it for my week. It was pretty much.
I had
Milano's
the Gaelic chicken, just in case you were wondering what I had.
What'd you have at the cottage?
Yeah, I had the Gaelic chicken. It's one of my favorite dishes.
What's the difference between regular chicken and a Gaelic chicken?
Comes with Irish bacon.
Uh-huh.
They put a tomato on it, but I don't get the tomato. I don't like tomatoes. And the gravy is fantastic.
Okay.
And cheese. They melt cheese on it. You can get provolone or mozzarella. And
I don't like when they put the sauce on top. Remember when?
Well, then you shouldn't order this.
Well, I ordered filet mignon.
Big part of it is the gravy.
I ordered the filet mignon there with you once, and they gave me the glaze on it, and I sent it back. Remember? Remember when you?
No, I don't remember that.
I sent it back and ordered a hamburger. Don't you remember?
Oh, I do remember that. That's right.
So
the filet mignon wasn't good enough for you.
I sent it back for a hamburger. But that's why I'm kind of funny. At certain restaurants, I kind of a repeat. I go to the same place a lot because
McDonald's.
Well, that was just after ShopRite.
You were just excited to try this new dish.
I just figured, let me see what all the fuss is about.
I never even heard of it, so I didn't realize there was.
Well, the commercials. They have 5,000 commercials on the.
I fast forward to.
Well, that's right. You stream mostly. You don't
Right.
watch commercials.
Right. Try not.
Well, that's why I'm trying to enlighten you. So maybe you guys will. Well, you don't eat hamburgers.
I don't eat hamburgers. Never had one in my life.
Rob, just so you know,
I had one. Good. I tried one today.
You did have one of them.
One today.
Big Arch.
Big Arch.
Did you like it?
I did. I thought I liked it better than the Big Mac.
I thought it was better than the Big Mac too.
Yeah, it has less bread, and the sauce is just a little bit different.
Yep.
I thought it was good.
I'm glad I brought it up. What do you think, Dan? It was productive.
Yeah, it's great.
So anyway,
they all right. So you had McDonald's. You know who else likes McDonald's? Little segue.
The Golden Arches.
Donald Trump.
I know he gave it to the U.S. team when they came.
They so yeah, we had some excitement in the last week with these sleeper idiots.
Yeah.
They so
all the people we let in started to make an impact.
They well, that's why they call them sleepers, I guess. But they the one guy was in prison for assisting ISIS, and or not ISIS, and they let him out. And for some reason, he was still allowed to be here. Like there was no deportation. The guy in Old Dominion,
mm-hmm.
He did 7 years for he was tried and convicted of helping ISIS, and he was supposed to do 11 years. They let him out in 7, and then a year after getting out, he goes on a shooting spree.
Was that that was
at Old Dominion,
right? And then there was the one in New York, right?
And then you had the 2 idiots from Pennsylvania throwing the bombs, and fortunately, they weren't bright enough to make them correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And but I just how do you let? First of all, how do you let the guy out early? And then how do you not deport him? Because you can deport him.
Right.
Even though he was naturalized, you can still deport him when he breaks the law. So, but the one thing I don't understand is Elise Slotkin, the senator from Michigan, voted down funding TSA and Homeland Security.
Yeah.
And then went back to Michigan and did a press conference saying that we need to fund Homeland Security.
Well, that's mind-boggling.
So
I don't get that. I believe it, but I don't understand any of their logic when they're not supporting those organizations that try to keep the people safe.
She just had a terrorist act in her district.
Right. It's ridiculous.
Guy drove a car into a synagogue when there's 100 kids inside. And then she goes to Washington, votes against funding Homeland Security, and then comes back and says, you know what we need to do? Fund Homeland Security.
Yeah.
And there's just no reason why when they're having their little pissing match. And I understand that. But everything they're pissing about has already been settled.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're just leaving him hostage.
Right.
And it just, you know what? Do a 60-day extension. Status quo. Fund it as it is now for 60 days while you figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got, they've been a month now without pay. TSA agents, they're quitting by droves. They're calling out sick by droves because they're out getting other jobs so they can pay their bills. Meanwhile, they're telling travelers, do us a favor and show up like 4 hours early.
They don't care about the people for anything. It's the don't care about the people party. That's what it is. It's just insane.
And I mean, fortunately, we don't have any plans traveling. Paul, what about you? You got to fly somewhere?
No.
But Rob's looking to get away. And
he's taking a ship.
2-3 weeks.
I think he's taking.
Yeah, but you have to get to the ship.
What do you mean?
Do you have to fly, Rob?
Yeah, I have to fly to Miami.
Right.
Oh. Why can't you take a ship to Miami to get another ship and take another ship to Miami first and then hop on the other ship? Can't you take 2 ships?
Yeah, Rob. Why can't you just fly 2.5 hours instead of?
No, take 2 ships. One from New York.
Right. That'll
Miami.
take a week to get to Miami.
He's retired. Oh, that's right. Kathy is not.
Right.
Well, I mean, do you have the same problem in the shipping industries? Well, I guess.
No, he's got to get to the ship. That's the problem.
But they come out of Bayonne. You could get on one there.
But not the one he's going on. Rob, a little help. Yeah.
Take you can take a ship from Bayonne to Miami and then get on the Miami ship.
The last ship that was in Bayonne was covered in 20 inches of snow and couldn't leave when we had that big snowstorm.
You know the best part about
it's warmed up now.
The best part, Rob, selling out of Bayonne right now, there's no crowds at the pool.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So he's got to fly. You're saying he's got to fly down first. So he's still got the same problem.
So they're going away for spring break.
Yeah, but I don't really have that problem because we both have TSA pre-check and we both have Clear. Clear is a membership that you pay for, and you basically walk up to a kiosk, they scan you to verify it's you, and then they put you in the front of the line of the scanners, x-ray machines, whatever. And you just walk right through. You don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take off your belt. You don't have to do anything.
I got to tell you, well, you don't have to take off your belt anymore. You don't have to take off your shoes anymore. Us part of the great unwashed, Rob,
right?
Doesn't pay for a membership. But I have to be honest with you. If I just stood on line for 4 hours and I finally get up and put my bag in the machine and I'm ready to walk through, and some douchebag walks up and gets to cut in line, it's not going to be pleasant for you if I'm the one standing there.
Yeah, but he did all the right thing.
Why? By joining Clear and paying for a membership?
Yeah.
Why not? He went the extra mile.
And the TSA agent cuts the line.
I fly once a year. I don't think the membership's worth it. But I will heckle you all the way to your gate. I will find you and heckle you all the way to your gate.
The only problem I would run into is if they had it at the Wallkill River. Then I'd have a problem. But I go right over that.
Because you can walk on water.
There's I mean driving over there's a bridge.
Oh, the bridge on
Wallkill.
By Accurate Forming?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have any issues with that.
I wish you a great vacation, Rob. I really do.
I hope you have a good time.
Thank you. It should go pretty good.
Don't mistake my bitterness for wishing you an unhappy vacation. I want you and Kathy to have a great time. I'm just telling. I would do it to anybody who cut in front of me.
I just don't understand the concept of taking a plane to the ship. I don't.
Well, because in the wintertime, the ships don't sail out of New York. So
They
you
don't?
have to fly to Florida. If you want to go to the Caribbean,
Yeah.
then you have to fly to Florida.
Is that where you're going? The Caribbean?
I'm going to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, they're not going to be happy down there. Well, I'll get to that in a minute.
Well, we can segue right into it.
No, they lost last night, 2-1, and they were complaining, and they didn't get a chance to do all their fancy dancing that they did in all the other games, hot dogging it up, putting the mustard on. They couldn't do any of that because we knocked them down 2-1. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
And Judge got a hit.
Judge got a hit. He threw somebody out at third base. He's had a good tournament.
Juan Soto.
I love that he struck. I love it. He's complaining.
Yeah,
He's got his new soulful corner.
He didn't have
going.
a good game.
No. But they every other game they were dancing at home plate for every time. Come on, have a seat, relax.
Well, they won a couple of nights ago by 10 runs.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but I'm saying, come down to celebrating.
I was a little surprised that the United States beat him.
But
and so were you.
No, I had a 50-50. I knew it was going to be a tough game.
Is that what you told me Saturday night?
What do you mean? I said that
You said
they're going to be a tough test.
I don't think they're going to win.
No, I didn't say that. I think you're.
What am I?
I think you're drinking your own bathwater now.
Okay, well, I haven't taken a bath in years.
But
a lot of people have been talking.
I'll tell you, this Bernard, the Yankee closer, he had 2 good games. He struck out the side against Canada with the bases loaded, and then last night he came in, he shut the door down in I believe it was the 7th inning. Phenomenal job. Judge was Judge. They tried to take the extra base on him. He threw the guy out at third base. End the inning. There was a threat, in that inning. So pretty happy that tonight you got Italy against Venezuela, and then we play the winner of that. I want Italy to win because this way, if Italy wins and beats us, then I'm happy either way. See?
Why? Because you're Italian?
Yeah. Well, 3/4.
Well, that's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
I thought you were an American.
I am, but if we had to lose to anybody, I'd rather be Italy. So.
Well, okay. I know where you stand. All right.
I mean, you got the baseball. And
the Yankees they don't win without Judge, so
they've been on a losing. So
their preseason's not been going well.
It's preseason. They got 2 weeks left of the preseason. They get everybody back after Tuesday night, back to the home teams. So we'll see what goes with that. Basketball. I watched a little of the Knicks yesterday. The Warriors, the Golden State Warriors, sat 3 or 4 guys were hurt, and the Knicks hardly. Almost, they were losing by 21, and they came back and won. But they didn't have Steph Curry. They didn't have Draymond Green. They should have walked all over this team. Backups in there. But I don't like their chances as we get closer to the playoffs. I think they can maybe win the first round, but I think these other teams in the East are playing better than them. The Cleveland's Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics, and Detroit. So I don't know where they're going to be going. But I know you're on the edge of your seat with this.
I'm fine. Just keep it going.
But
does Steph Curry? Doesn't his brother play as well?
Yeah, Seth Curry and Steph Curry. Steph Curry's the big.
Are they twins?
I don't think they're twins, but they're brothers. So, and the Rangers won 4 games in a row, but who cares? Now they're ruining their chances of a high draft pick by winning a few games in a row here. But hockey and basketball and free agent football. I mean, the Giants signed 11 players, all from different teams. They've been busy. They re-signed 6 of their own and 11 from other teams. Most notably, Picard, the fullback from the Ravens. John Harbaugh's bringing some of his guys with him, the punter, and the tight end. His name was Likely. He's been signed. And the Jets. Hey,
Geno Smith is back.
I tell you, I think this is going to solidify the team. It really is.
Oh, this is just a fast pass to the playoffs right here.
What'd you think of when you heard the news?
I just shook my head.
Deja vu all over again?
Yeah, I just shook my head. It's typical Jet move. You know, they're trying to get their draft picks back because obviously they can win elsewhere. Why can't they win in New York? But it's just.
Well, they figured maybe since one of their first round picks went to another team and won the Super Bowl, maybe this first round pick that came back could do that for the Jets, right? Because he was the number one pick too.
Yeah, let's take a guy back that couldn't hold a job elsewhere. So, sure.
And they traded for him. They didn't even want to. They thought that other teams would be competing for him. In other words, he was going to be released the following day, and the Jets were so scared that he goes somewhere else, like it was Joe Montana, that they traded for him before he was released, so they had the rights to him. To me, I don't know if there would have been too many teams that would have been banging the door for Geno Smith, but the Jets thought they needed to trade for him.
I heard, and you can tell me you have your finger on the pulse when it comes to sports management, general management. I heard that they were in talks with Matt Snell, not expecting him to pass away. That's what I heard.
Well, I didn't hear that, but Matt Snell, I know he was on the outs with the Jets for a long time. He wouldn't be involved in anything, but
I looked for that and I couldn't find it.
I don't know the guy who wrote the book. There was a book that was written that had that in the book and he said, Matt Snell didn't want to.
He attended the Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
maybe. You had mentioned that.
It could have been fake news.
You had mentioned that last week, and I had not heard that, so I tried to do a little digging, and I could not find that. Like, it seemed that, I mean, the guy's...
It's possible. It's possible it was wrong.
80 years old, but, so he didn't make a lot of events anymore, But yeah. Woody Johnson had wonderful things to say. I'd be hard pressed to say Woody ever met him, but he was the one they were quoting when Snell died.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever met him, unless like you said, maybe at the Ring of Honor,
right?
He might have met him. I didn't know that they retired his number.
Woody's a terrible owner. He's not a football guy. It's just
he's more of a Band-Aid guy, right? Johnson.
Well, yeah, he's extremely wealthy. He made his money in ointment and Band-Aids.
Yeah.
A
lot of money in that.
Well, it was, handed down.
Listen, can I circle back to one thing? We kind of segued a little bit short. I wanted to just bring up something for you, and I wanted to ask you what your opinion was. That's okay. Circling back to this war thing. I mean, we're demolishing this Iran's capabilities to fight. But my problem is like we kind of touched on it last week, and I want you to give me your take on it. The problem is with the regime, they're not going to surrender. So at what point in time, he keeps on talking, the president keeps talking about, it's just about over, it should be over soon, but he wants an unconditional surrender, and I don't see that kind of a regime doing that.
I think that they're in the process. It's a longer process, obviously, than just bombing them, but choking out them economically. And taking control of the Strait of Hormuz.
The Strait of Hormuz, yeah.
You're going to get their allies to turn against them, and because he's basically saying you're free to ship your oil. Not Iran. I'm talking about China.
Yeah,
Korea.
But you're going to have to.
But you're going to come through here. But Iran's not going to control it. Now they bombed Karg. The island of Karg, but they didn't bomb the refinery.
Mm-hmm.
I've said for years that I personally think Iran should just be an oil field, owned globally. You have a, OPEC or some type of commission controlling it, and then just make it a dispensary.
Well, the point I'm making, and that's what I'm going to get your.
But I think
how do
to
you
answer your
resolve the
question,
leadership,
well,
the leadership problem?
there is no leadership problem. I don't think there is a leadership problem. I don't think they have a leader. The problem is that the people don't have the. I mean, they've been beaten down for 3 generations.
Right.
They you know, you don't just wake up and go, "I'm taking the country back."
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have any money.
They don't have any weapons.
And they don't have any weapons. All right. So yeah, there's going to have to be ground troops. But what Trump's doing right now is telling everyone else, you need to help.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
So get the French Navy down here. Get the German Navy down here.
Escort the ships through.
And work it as a rotation, getting that through. And then, yes, you're going to put a few thousand people on the ground to go in and clean it up. It's been done before.
Mm-hmm.
They did it,
Well, now they're saying that the last guy that they just put in
might not even be alive.
They can't find him. He's not.
So it's all. The thing that surprises me the most is I really want to believe everything Iran says, but it just seems like they just can't tell the truth about it.
Well, they're using AI now, saying our ships are sunk and everything.
They're playing Battleship, using video footage from Battleship to show our ships being sunk.
Yep.
The thing that gets me is that the mainstream media wants to believe everything they're saying.
Yeah.
Like Iran's never lied to us. Well, I mean, they say he's
they're
alive.
rooting for them. I mean,
but that's what it's going to be. We're going to have to go in and rebuild them and give them supplies and give them what they need to run their own government. And it's just going to it doesn't happen overnight. Trump's a salesman. He's going to give the best pitch he can when he embellishes, but the bottom line is our whole adult lives, we've been listening about Iran.
Yeah.
Going all the way back to the hostage crisis.
Yeah. As soon as Reagan got in.
Right. In 1979. And no one has done anything about it. Right. They've been ruled and controlled by a religious zealot for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
These poor girls from the soccer team, they're all going back because their families are being held and killed and executed. And chances are, I'm waiting to hear that the soccer team gets executed when they go back. I mean, that's who you're dealing with over there. Right? Nobody seemed to care about the 35,000 protesters that were executed shortly before we went in there. Right? Nobody seems to care about that.
It doesn't fit their narrative. That's why.
It's just.
I just don't.
It has to be economics.
I just don't see how I don't see how you're gonna unless you do that. What you're proposing or what you think is going to happen is going to get the regime out unless you put somebody down and get them out.
Well, they're not getting another pallet of money.
No.
So they're going to be choked out completely economically. They're going to be broke. And that's when, if the people aren't desperate enough, look what's going on in Cuba right now. They're retaliating against the socialist government.
Mm-hmm.
And they're rioting in the streets and they're burning down the headquarters, and because they know that we'll be there to help them.
Right.
And we should. So that's what's happening. It's just that, and Cuba's been stepped on for longer than Iran.
Yeah, since 1959.
Well, since they ran Batista out and Michael Corleone had to get out in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And couldn't find Fredo.
Yeah.
And
that was 1959, I believe, wasn't it? I believe it was 1959 that happened.
It could be.
Yeah.
They so I mean that's what it's going to be. It's all about economics. And with Iran's economics is completely, they have all their eggs in one basket, oil. That's it. They don't have any other product.
Now he's got a meeting with China at the end of the week. I don't know why he's traveling like these other countries. It's kind of dangerous, no?
Every president does.
I know, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and he's the ultimate target,
Well, he's got more balls than any president in our lifetime.
That's not even debatable.
I had when the media was hammering on that, a school was incorrectly hit and kids died. And the media's blowing the roof off. How could he do this? What kind of animal he is? He's a maniac. He has no control over the situation or anything. And it made me think how good Truman must have been to drop 2 atomic bombs. And apparently he did not take any innocent lives.
No. Yeah.
He dropped 2 atomic bombs.
It's the same as near the end of the war, World War II. The British took out Dresden, Germany. It was only civilians.
Berlin was leveled.
Yeah.
Level.
But Dresden was firebombed.
Right.
There was no strategic reason for that either.
But I guess my point is that Truman was a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And he dropped 2 atomic bombs.
Well, he figured that we were going to lose $250,000 if we landed ground force on there because they never were going to surrender.
Correct.
And the other issue was Russia.
250,000 lives, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Dollars.
Oh, I meant 250,000 people. Yeah. They were soldiers.
Right. But nobody pays attention to history. Until Bush 41, I don't believe any Republican president sent us into conflict.
Right.
Wilson was a Democrat. FDR is a Democrat. Truman's a Democrat. Kennedy got us into Vietnam. He's a Democrat. Johnson kept us in Vietnam. He's a Democrat. But no, they just don't want to acknowledge that.
No. Nope.
So yes, it was tragic that a school got hit, and I feel terrible about that. But it didn't stop Truman. You going to tell me there were no schools where those bombs dropped?
No.
Yeah. It's war.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens. But so you got any more on the Giants?
No, I just wanted to give you an update that they're really trying to change the team. That's all.
Well, real quick, the Players' Championship was this weekend, and I'll be brief.
Yeah.
Cameron Young, solid, steady, the 4th round. So the biggest guns in the PGA did not fare well. Xander Schauffele was the only big name that was in the top. He was 8 under. But Cameron Young did not hold the lead until the final putt to win the tournament. It's the only time he had the lead.
Wow.
And Fitzpatrick, who was British, was playing solid. Oberg, he's from Sweden. He folded in the last round. Unfortunately, he had a great lead going into the final round, but he had a terrible terrible back 9. But Cameron Young dropped one on 17 that was just unbelievable, and then went to 18 and hit a textbook drive. Second shot, 2-putt, par, you win. Walk off the green. One thing the only criticism I'll have about the crowd, because the crowd was pretty good, and it's beautiful course, TPC Sawgrass. They turned it into the Ryder Cup because it was Cameron Young against Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick was 13 under, Young was 12 under, and they're playing together. So, the USA chants and all that.
So
Yeah. And I get it. The golfers take it in stride. Fitzpatrick walked onto the 18th tee laughing about the crowd because, you have 10,000 people around a golf hole chanting for you. And, but it did give it a Ryder Cup feel, which is fine every 2 years, but not at the Tournament Players Championship.
Right.
It's all the golfers are equal there, and they're not representing countries and what have you. But they're going to do what they're going to do.
But I think a lot of that comes from you're watching some baseball. It's international, and you just come off the heels of the Olympics.
And the Olympics,
it's probably just a little of that rubs you off.
And I don't have a problem with pride. I really don't. But Fitzpatrick's a great young golfer, and there's a ton of great young golfers, and they're not all from the United States.
If they weren't paired up at the end, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Probably not.
Right.
And Europe beat us in the Ryder Cup. Handedly beat us.
Yes.
So I guess they looked at it as a little payback. But it was a great tournament. It was exciting. The lead changed a couple times, and I going into the last 3 holes of the tournament, there was probably any one of 4 players that could have won it. So it was fun to watch, and I just would love to play that course. I've never been there.
Mm-hmm. That's California too?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, Jacksonville, Florida.
And now they're still in Florida for another week, but
then they'll be coming north towards.
They're at Inverness this week.
The Masters is in April, right?
April.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that report, Dan.
I figured we ought to leave it on a lighter note.
Yep.
But thanks for listening. And don't forget, tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day, Irish Cottage. I'm going to be stopping by, Paul. It's a Tuesday. It's your regular day, Paul.
I got to see if it's crowded, though.
It's
probably going to be, chances are.
I'm going to say there's going to be some crowd. But yeah, after work, I'm going to stop by.
All right.
And say hi to people. But yeah, good luck to the cottage tomorrow. And they had a great weekend. And keep it going.
I guess Sunday they had another event too. I think Sunday.
Yeah, it was Friday night, Saturday, Sunday,
and then Tuesday. Probably today's a day off, right? Probably no events today.
I don't know.
They'll probably gear up.
I'm sure people are hanging around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Say it.